Hello everyone. This session is about password security and users. After completing this lesson, we should be able to manage passwords using profiles, administrate profiles, control use of resources using profiles, obtain information about profiles, password management and resources. Then in user management, how to create a new user, alter and drop users, and obtaining information about users. Profiles. Profile is a named set of the following password and resource limits: password aging and expiration, password history, password complexity verification, account locking, CPU time, input-output operations, idle time, connect time, memory space, and concurrent sessions. After a profile has been created, the database administrator can assign it to each user. If resource limits are enabled, the Oracle server limits the database usage and resources to define profile of the user. Default profile. The Oracle server automatically creates a default profile when the database is created. The users who have not been explicitly assigned a specific profile conform to all the limits of the default profile. All the limits of the default profile are initially unlimited. However, the database administrator can change the values so that limits are applied to all users by default. Profile usage. Restrict users from performing some operations that requires heavy use of resources. Ensures that users logs off the database when they have left their session idle for some time. Enable group resource limits for similar users. It easily assigns resource limits to users. It manages resource usage in large complex multi-user database systems. It controls the use of passwords. Now, the profile characteristics. Profile assignments do not affect current sessions. Profile can be assigned only to the users, not to roles or other profiles. If we do not assign a profile when creating a user, the user is automatically assigned the default profile. Password management features. For greater control over database security, Oracle password management is controlled by database administrators with profiles. The available password management features are account locking. It enables automatic locking of an account when a user fails to log into the system in the specified number of attempts. Password aging and expiration enables the password to have a lifetime after which it expires and must be changed. Password history checks the new password to ensure that the password is not reused for a specified amount of time or a specified number of password changes. Then password complexity verification makes a complexity check on the password to verify that it is complex enough to provide protection against intruder who might try to break into the system by guessing the passwords. How to enable password management? Create the profile to limit the password settings and assign the profile to the user by using the create user or alter user command. Password limit settings in profiles are always enforced. When password management is enabled, the user account can be locked or unlocked by using the create user or alter user command. Password management is not enabled by default. To enable this, we have to run a script utility utl pwd-mg.sql as a sys user. Password account locking. The Oracle server automatically locks an account after the failed_login_attempts value is reached. The account is either automatically unlocked after a specified time, password_lock_time, or it must be unlocked by the database administrator using the alter user command. The database account can be explicitly locked with the alter user command. When this happens, the account is not automatically unlocked. Expiration and aging. The password_life_time parameters sets the maximum lifetime after which the password must be changed. The database administrator can specify a grace period, password_grace_time, which begin after the first attempt to log into database after password expiration. A warning message is generated every time the user tries to log in until the grace period is over. The user is expected to change the password within the grace period. If the password is not changed, the account is locked. The user account status is changed to expired by explicitly setting the password to be expired. Password history. Password history checks ensures that a user cannot reuse a password for a specified time interval. These checks can be implemented using one of the following. Password reuse time. To specify that a user cannot reuse a password for a given number of days. Password reuse max. To force a user to define a password that is not identical to earlier password. When one parameter is set to a value other than default or unlimited, the other parameter must be set to unlimited. Now before assigning a password to a user, a PL/SQL function can be invoked to verify the validity of the password. The Oracle server provides a default verification routine, or the database administrator can write a PL/SQL function. How to define a function to verify a password? When a new password verification function is added, the database administrator must consider the following restrictions. The procedure must use the specification indicated in the slide. The procedure returns the value true for success and false for failure. If the password function raises an exception, an error is returned and the alter user or create user command is terminated. The password function is owned by the sys user. If the password functions become invalid, an error message is returned and the alter user or create user command is terminated. The Oracle server provides a complexity verification function in the form of default PL/SQL function called verify_function of the script utl pwd mg.sql, which must be run in the sys schema. During the execution of the script, the Oracle server creates verify_function and changes the default profile with the following alter profile command. Alter profile default limit password_life_time is equal to 60, password grace time 10, password reuse time 1800, password reuse max unlimited, failed login attempts 3, password lock time 1/1440, and password verify function as verify_function. Use the following create profile command to administer passwords. Create profile, then profile name, then limit, and after that we specify the parameters and their values. For altering the profile, we can give the command alter profile, profile name, limit, then the values of the parameters which we want to change. Next is dropping a profile. How can we drop a profile? We can drop a profile using the drop file command. Drop profile, then profile name. Where if we use cascade option with this command, then it revokes the profile from the users to whom it is assigned. The Oracle server automatically assigns the default profile to such users. Specify these options to drop a profile that is currently assigned to users. Guidelines. The default profile cannot be dropped. When a profile is dropped, this change applies to subsequently created sessions only and not to the current sessions. Next is user management. The database administrator defines the name of the users allowed to access a database. A security domain defines the settings that apply to the user. Authentication mechanism. A user who needs access to database can be authenticated by one of the following: data dictionary, operating system, or by network authentication. The means of authentication is specified at the time the user is defined in the database and can be altered later. This session covers authentication by database and by operating system only. Table space quotas. Table space quotas controls the amount of physical storage space allocated to a user in the table space in a database. Default table space. The default table space defines the location where segments created by a user are stored if the user does not explicitly specify a tablespace at the time the segment is created. Temporary tablespace. Temporary tablespace defines where extents will be allocated by the Oracle server if the user performs an operation that requires writing short data to the disk. Account locking. Accounts can be locked to prevent a user from logging onto the database. This can be set to occur automatically, or the database administrator can lock or unlock accounts manually. Resource limits. Limits can be placed on the use of resources such as CPU time, logical input-output, and the number of sessions. Direct privileges are the privileges are used to control the action of a user that a user can perform in a database. Role privileges. A user can be granted privileges indirectly through the use of roles. Now, what is schema? A schema is a named collection of objects such as tables, views, clusters, procedures, and package associated with a particular user. When a database user is created, a corresponding schema with the same name is created. A user can be associated only with one schema of the same name, and therefore username and schema are often used interchangeably. This slide shows some of the objects that users can own in an Oracle database. While creating users, we need to know many things in mind. We must know the default tablespace of users. Which tablespace will user needs? Assigning a default temporary tablespace, then granting necessary privileges and roles to that user. We can use the following command to create a new user. Create user username identified by password, then its default tablespace, temporary tablespace, quotas on tablespace, and other password parameters. Now here we are creating one user Aaron who has password soccer. We have defined its default tablespace as data and its default temporary tablespace as temp, and we are giving resource limit to the user Aaron as 15 MB on data tablespace and 10 MB on users tablespace, and its password sets as expires. So password expires means it forces the user to reset the password when the user logs on to database using SQL+. A password authentication method is mandatory. If a password is specified, it is maintained by the Oracle server in the data dictionary. Password control mechanism provided by the Oracle server are available when users are authenticated by the server. Once the password expiry is set and the user logs on using SQL+, the user receives the error message at login and is prompted to enter a new password. Use the identified externally clause of the create user command to specify that a user must be authenticated by the operating system. This option is generally useful when the user logs on directly to the machine where the Oracle server is running. The OS authentication prefix initialization parameter is used to specify the format of the usernames for operating system authentication. This value defaults to ops $, to make it backward compatible with the earlier release of the Oracle server. To set the prefix to a null value, specify this initialization parameter as os underscore authent underscore prefix is equal to null. The example in the slide shows how a user Aaron is defined in the database. This specifies that operating system users Aaron will be allowed access to the database without having to go through any validation by the Oracle server. Thus, to use SQL+ to log on to the system Unix, user Aaron needs to enter the following commands from the operating system. SQL+ space / using OS authentication prefix is equal to ops $, gives the flexibility of having a user authenticated by either the operating system or by the Oracle server. In this case, the DBA can create the user by entering a command of the form create user ops dollar then username identified by password. A user who logs onto the machine running the Oracle server needs not supply a password. If the user connects from a remote client, he or she can connect by supplying the password. Setting another initialization parameter remote underscore OS underscore authent is equal to true specifies that a user can be authenticated by a remote operating system. The default value of false indicates that a user can be authenticated only by the machine running on the Oracle server. Use this parameter with care because there is potential security problem. If there are users in the database who are authenticated by the operating system, changing OS underscore authent underscore prefix may prevent these users from logging onto database. We may need to modify tablespace quotas in the following situation. When tables owned by a user exhibit unanticipated growth, when an application is enhanced and requires additional tables or indexes, when an objects are reorganized and placed in different tablespace, we can use the following command to modify tablespace quota or to reassign tablespace. Alter user username, then default table tablespace, temporary tablespace, quota, that's it. Once a quota of 0 is assigned, the objects owned by the user remain in the revoked table space, but they cannot be allocated any new space. For example, if a table that is 10 MB exists in the tablespace users and the tablespace user quota is altered to 0, no more new extents can be allocated for that table. Any unchanged option remain unchanged. For dropping a user, we can use the command drop user username. The cascade option drops all objects in the schema before dropping the user. This must be specified if the schema contains any object. A user who is currently connected to the Oracle server cannot be dropped. For obtaining user information, we can query dba underscore users and dba underscore ts underscore quotas tables. The DBA user will tell us about the username, password, account status, default and temporary table space, etc. DB underscore TS underscore quotas give info about table space associated with the users and quotas on it. That's all about password security and the user management. Thank you.